Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a really handsome looking CRV. This is a 1.6 SR, as you can see here, a 66 plate car. This particular one's covered 89,000 miles, finished in this lovely twilight blue metallic. It's also got some nice options fitted. The high level rear spoiler and the side steps, all subtle but really change the look of the car completely. The car is in fantastic condition. It's parked in the shade, by the way, because I was told by a professional photographer to do that, because it actually means you can see any blemishes more easily than in direct sunlight, so hence that's why we do it. But to go around the front of the car, bumper's very clean. Likewise, bonnet, for a car this age and mileage, there's hardly a stone chip anywhere on there at all. Near side, passenger side, really smooth in the panels. There's no obvious indentations that sort of jump out at me. Near side front alloy, beautiful condition, and that's generally the one that takes all of the bashing. Pardon me. Near side rear alloy, again, lovely. And then you can see there with the rear 3/4 angles, always the best for these cars. It looks fantastic. Going around the back, bumper corners again, very clean. Likewise, entry point for the hatch itself, tailgate rather, very clean as well. Offside, passenger side, or driver side rather, again, absolutely lovely and clean in the panels. No, so again, immediate indentations that show themselves. Offside rear alloy, fantastic again. The remaining panel work is lovely, and final alloy, beautiful, and it really is in superb condition, this car. Coming to the back of the car now, cavernous boots on the CRVs, and unlike so many of them which have been very heavily used, this one has been treated so gently in the back. Nice to see a load cover there, which means the carpeted area looks pretty much like new underneath. Let's come into the back. You've got these wide opening rear doors, you've got this lovely half leather interior, and again, CRVs, generally speaking, because they're normally used for ferrying kids about, are very heavily used in the back, especially with this mileage, but that is in absolutely stunning condition. Let's come into the front and the passenger side. Again, all very, very clean and tidy. Passenger seat there, been given minimal use. Finally, coming in on the driver's side, door card, lovely and clean. Same with the footwell area. And driver's seat, the only one that's going to show anywhere. And you've got a tiny bit of compression, which you're naturally going to get, and a tiny bit of wear on the bolster there. But in reality, for the mileage of the car, it's way, way better than most you'd see. So inside the car now, as I always do, have the engine running so the dash can be seen illuminated during this section. So the engine's running there. Sat nav, you can see, working exactly as it should. If pop the car into reverse, that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as intended. Video doesn't really do it justice. It is lovely in here. And then come across the main dash binnacle. Hopefully you can see there, 89,501 miles, and there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for our Honda CRV. It's a 1.6 SR diesel. This car is registered ND65EEZ, and mileage 89,494 recorded. The reason for all of our videos, as I repeatedly say, especially this road test section, is because we want to make sure that if anyone's looking at any of our cars online, they actually get to see the very car advertised in operation. The reason we feel it's important is very simple. It's because, like far too many people, we've been to see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs and description, but only to get there and find out there's an obvious fault that shows up as soon as you drive the car. And so hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire where we are. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the reason being that hopefully it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, engine starts, first turn of the key, settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, and temperature gauge is running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. They are brilliant diesel engines in every way. I mean, you'd expect of a Honda. So they are tough, incredibly reliable and long lasting with good regular maintenance. But it's just also a really nice unit. It's, apart from, tick over and low revs, you barely know it's a diesel. It's very smooth and quiet. It's flexible, and don't think because it's kind of just a 1.6 hasn't got the get up and go. You should put your foot down, and it really picks up. It's fantastic, and the fuel economy is incredible in them. Whoever had it previously was averaging 55.1 miles per gallon. And that's pretty much bang on where I would be with mine. On longer trips, I'd be over 60. So, but just a complete mix of driving, that's pretty much exactly where I'd expect it to be. So the economy is genuine and it's real, and it's easily achievable. Engine then feeds through into the clutch and gearbox. Clutch is perfect on the car, so much so that it makes me think it might have had a clutch, because it just feels so light and positive. The bite point's perfect. Normally with 90,000 miles or nose, damn it, you'd expect it to feel a bit heavier and biting in a different position, but I've got no record of it being done, but it just feels like it. And then the gearbox itself, which is classic Honda, brilliant gearboxes. They really put an effort into making sure that all the controls have a satisfying engineered feel to them, and this is a classic example. First of all, it's positioning. It's a bit higher up, it's not down in the normal position that you find in a car, and all the better for it, because your hand just falls onto it. And the sort of play in the gear change is brilliant. It's use the palm of your hand, and it's much sportier in feel than you'd expect for this type of car. And it's got that lovely action. You said if it was a sports car, you'd expect a gearbox like this, but you wouldn't expect the manufacturer to put that much effort into making it feel good for a regular family car. But it is that good. It also feels exactly like it would have done when it was new. There's absolutely zero wear in the linkage at all, and the gearboxes, like the engines, are incredibly robust. Steering on the vehicle, again, Honda, the CR-V is the best-selling SUV in the world, and there's a very good reason for it, because they do exactly what 99% of their customers want. Unfortunately, 1% of people that drive these cars, who are the motoring press, tend to slam them for being kind of a bit dull, a bit uninteresting, not much fun to be had going through the corners. Well, no, it's not. It's not a sports car, not in any way, shape or form, but it is brilliant at what it's designed to do. So what it gives you is steering that's positive, accurate, precise, far better than virtually any other thing else in this class in that regard. Beautifully weighted, makes the car feel very solid and secure on the road. It has a chassis that flows the corners with very good body control for this type of vehicle, but still allows for a very compliant, beautifully damped ride. So in that sense, brilliant. As a sports car, no, it's not very good. So I'll give them that. It's so frustrating, it really is. Why they hand these people these cars is beyond me, but all they want to do is go sideways in Ferraris. Also, by the way, just the reason I talk about it on this section of the road is because the road surface is awful. Just listening out for any sort of clonks, rattles coming from the suspension, and there's absolutely nothing at all. I could literally be driving a car that's just come off the production line. It's got that solidity to it. I'm going to give the brakes a good shove, make sure no one's directly behind me, and they aren't. Nice, shove. Really good brake pedal on the vehicle. What I'm looking for in particular is any kind of pulsing or vibration when you hit the brake pedal, and there's none at all. It's absolutely spot on. So coming inside the car, it's literally just arrived. It's not been cleaned. It hardly needs it, in all honesty. It's so clean in here. What videos cannot get across, as is always the case, is the build quality of these things. They are brilliantly put together cars. Absolutely no squeaks, no rattles, and again, this is one of my pet hates is with some of the sort of motoring press. They seem to think build quality is squidgy plastics and funky sounding doors. They're all very nice, but it doesn't mean one chop when you've driven the car for 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 years and everything's creaking and groaning like there's no tomorrow. Whereas these are designed so you can wipe them clean, or some child spilled something, and They're hard wearing, they're tough, but they're beautifully bolted together. It's also a really good place to sit and drive a car because you've got fantastic visibility in them. So on the open road as I am now, you've got these massive wing mirrors. You just feel very, very confident in all aspects of kind of lane changes, manoeuvres, reversing. It's kind of your friend in that way. And then you've got the dash, which is, it's a very, very well equipped car. But once you've driven the car for a day or two, it literally all becomes second nature. It's a very easy car to come to terms with, and all working exactly as it should. So you've got this nice big screen sat nav, which is shared with the top of the range EX car. Dual zone climate control system, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you so wish, and that pumps out absolutely ice cold air. All of the switch gear, as is always the case with Hondas, has a wonderfully tactile feel to it. Everything just feels really nicely manufactured. Heated seats again on this car, all working perfectly. Dash binnacle in front, a classic Honda affair, simple legible dials which you just look at, take the information in, and that's all it needs to do. And so you're not distracted by lots of stuff going on. Just beautifully done. And then you've got this lovely leather-bound steering wheel, which is quite small in diameter. It feels great in hand, and I can't find anywhere on any of the buttons anywhere. It's just beautifully put together. As I said at the start of the video, it's purely just to show the car operating, but it's also a case in point for, this is why Hondas are sought after. It's done 89,000 miles. It's now 7 years old, and yet it could literally just come off the production line. That's how it drives. It just feels as tight as a drum. It's why they're so sought after second hand. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, give us a call.